athletes. They'll be dismissed. Then we'll have questions for Coach McKillop. So, Coach, if you want to go ahead and make an opening statement.
Absolutely thrilled and so proud of the fight that this team had. We had to claw our way back in the game, and it never really felt like that. I think maybe 6 was the biggest lead they had. Maybe they had a 7-point lead at one point. But it was such a slow-paced rock fight of a game that it was never going to be fast. You weren't ever going to make those 2 plays in a row to change that game. Then we took the lead, and then they came right back, and I think they made a 3. And we missed open looks. We didn't convert at the line. They had some really crazy shots, banked in free throw, Richardson's floater. They made tough shots. But I thought we defended so hard to keep ourselves in that game, and then we made the plays when we needed to on the offensive end. So obviously very thrilled. And Loyola, they had every reason to be down and out with the way their season went, and they were playing their best basketball with the most fight they'd had these last 2 weeks. So credit to them and the job they did today and these last few weeks. But obviously we're thrilled to advance.
Questions for Josh and Devin. Just raise your hand. We'll get the mic to you.
Sean Gervais, mid-major basketball. Josh, it seemed like down the stretch, especially in overtime, you were, especially after you went off the glass to give you guys a 4-point lead, you were amped up. How important is it to you to provide that energy to your team to keep them locked in?
Well, I anchor myself on just being a dog, and my teammates just provide that for me, provide that energy in me. And so I just try to bring it back and just give that dog energy out so everybody else can just be a dog around me, which we all are. So.
Hi, Dave Hanley of Talkin' Blurs. Congratulations on a great game, hard-fought overtime win. Both of you had the best plus-minus in the game with sorry, wrong Brown. I apologize. But both of you had pretty good games. And what were you guys seeing against this Ramblers defense that obviously frustrated you for enough of the game to get you to overtime?
They were playing like different defenses, switching it up, playing like I and 3 or just man-to-man, and guarding us a little bit differently. We just knew we had to stay patient, make them work, and just take our best shot and just keep our offense going.
Yeah, first I want to say thank you. But they're a good team, and we knew that they would switch it up coming into it. So we knew that they would come at us, and our motto is so what? Like, so what? Whatever they throw at us, we know how to endure it. And honestly, I would say we were getting pretty good shots early on. They just weren't falling, so we just kept at it, kept pushing, and we got the result.
David Kaplan, Beyond the Box Score, previously at Davidson Community College. Questions for Josh. Josh, I remember recruiting you, actually being the first school to offer you. I knew we had no chance of getting you. Speak about how you've grown, finishing out high school, your experience at Army, and now here at Davidson.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate that. I took anything at the time. I just, like, as a kid in high school, I was like under-recruited, didn't really have much. So it just kind of brought the chip on my shoulder. Just every time I step on the court, I know it's like I got to play like it's my last time on the court because I was at that point where I didn't have anything. I didn't know if I was going to play basketball in college. And I just stepped on that with a chip on my shoulder. And I understand that where I'm at now, I'm just grateful. Thank God. I thank the coaching staff. I thank my teammates. I thank everybody that got me here, my family. So I'm appreciative about everything in my life.
Ryan Lombardi, TAP Integrator only. And Devin, first Atlantic 10 tournament game. Was there any older player you kind of relied on to control some of the emotions throughout the game?
My dog right here. Actually, on my last 3, I'm pretty sure he was yelling, "Shoot it, shoot it!" He always installs that confidence in me. Just lets me know I'm still a good player. Sometimes even when I feel like I'm pretty crappy that day. But it's just I gotta give all that to my teammates. They just boost me up.
My brother.
This is a question for either of you guys, but did you happen to see 24 Miles Rubin say before the game that there was bad blood between you guys? And I guess what are your thoughts on that? Bad blood between Davidson and Loyola, that is.
Yeah, we saw it. We're not really sure what he was getting at with that, but like I'm saying, they're a really good team. We knew that we would have to bring it and that they would bring it. So that's really it. We didn't take any much of it.
Is that it for Josh and Devin? All right. Thank you, guys. You can go back to the locker.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. And
Have
now,
a good night.
questions for Coach McKillop. Just raise your hand, we'll get you the mic.
Hi, Coach. Dave Hanley, Talking Blurs. With a hard-fought game like this, where you have to go into overtime and points are at a premium, how does this prepare you for your next matchup against St. Joe's?
Yeah, so much is going to be about recovery. We have an athletic trainer named Justin King who there is no way there's somebody in the country at this job that's better than what he does. And ice baths, flushes, massages, whatever you want to call them, that is crucial. Obviously, this was a fatiguing game. We've got depth, and we didn't go necessarily as deep. And some guys who play more, you look at Nick Koval's minutes, J.Q. Roberts' minutes, Hunter Adams' minutes. Hunter Adams, I think, played 30 minutes in our game against Bonaventure the other day. That's going to be beneficial. But, I mean, our guys, we were down and out several times, and they made those dagger shots at crucial moments. Finding a way to win, and not only just finding a way to win, we've had to find ways to win throughout the year, but finding a way to win when your season's on the line, when it's an elimination game, that hopefully goes a long way to hopefully not needing to be in that position again, but I'm certain that will at some point, and we've done it and we can point to it.
Thank you.
Coach, great game. Luka
Thank you.
Chevich from Rambo Sports Locker. Beating a team 3 times is hard enough. How did your preparation vary for this game as opposed to the prior 2 meetups?
Yeah, you anticipate that they're going to do something different. We had 2 very, very good offensive games against them. And Will Riegel had the scout, Will, our assistant coach, associate head coach. He said, like 2 weeks ago, when he saw that there was an opportunity that we could potentially land at this seed and they could land at that seed, he's like, he started to think about what possibly they could do different. And they played a special defense against St. Louis. And we call it an I-3, where 3 guys are denying everything, and then they play like a 2-man zone at the nail and the top of the charge circle. And sure enough, they came out in that. And I wish they stayed in it because Josh Govins made 2 quick scores, and it wasn't too challenging. I think our defense was still really strong against them. But we were actually in a similar situation last year. We beat Richmond twice, and we had a dogfight of a game. It didn't go to overtime, but it felt very much similar to this. So it's tough to beat a team 3 times, and that was the best shot that they've given us all year, so credit to them.
Coach Sean Gervais, mid-major basketball. Looking at tomorrow, you got St. Joe's on deck. Split the season against them, most recently a loss by only 3. How much can you take from those games, and how much of it is a completely new preparation system for you?
It's very beneficial to us that we played them 8 days ago. And now I'm trying to think of how the game even ended. I think we lost by 3. We lost by 3. Can't remember. We made a great comeback. We were down 15. We went with the 1-3-1 zone. It was very effective. Sam Brown was spectacular. What happened in the last 30 seconds? We had a lead, and then we missed a free throw, and they scored, and okay. And we had a chance to, I think, win the game, tie the game. Free throws hurt us, which has been a challenge for us this year, and we shot 58% today. We talk about this at the conference meetings every year. You get a game like Loyola played yesterday, so maybe they got a little bit of a different vibe, having already been in this gym, and that we can't worry about that. But maybe we'll have a little bit of a different vibe, a little more comfort level, having been in a game, been challenged, and touch these balls in this arena. And I can't imagine they've really changed much about their style, their defense, their offense. I think they played well against us, so it's going to be similar. We didn't have Roberts Blooms in that game. I think that will give us a significant boost. But we saw what was effective from the defensive standpoint and where we fell short. Same thing on the offensive end. So I'm happy we have a team that we saw where we fell short and how we can change that in the very recent history.
Is that it for Coach? All right, thank you. We'll have Loyola in here in a minute. Thanks, Coach. Again, we'll have Coach Valentine make an opening statement, then we'll open up for questions for the student athletes. They'll be dismissed, then Coach Valentine will take questions. So go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, got to give Davidson credit. I think, you know, we had talked about coming into, you know, these two games that we played prior to this one. You know, on Ken Palmer's shows, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and they were up like 40 points in those two first quarters of the game, first 10 minutes of both. And, you know, we really wanted to come out and really be physical defensively, be physical offensively, and I thought we really imposed our will in the first half. And credit to these guys after playing, you know, a lot of minutes yesterday, that both of these guys, and you know, just because we don't have the bodies, you know, how everybody played a lot of minutes, you know, I thought, you know, they came out on one and on edge. And so credit to my team, but also credit to Davidson, because I thought, you know, those guys stepped up and made plays. They didn't give up. They didn't fight. They're very, very well coached. Like, they're so disciplined defensively. They're so sound in their gaps. And I think they were 88 in the country last night when obviously I looked. And there's a reason why. You can tell how sound defensively they are. So, you know, my message to the team in the locker room was, you know, there's so many people that with the adversity that we dealt with this year, it says a lot about the character of the individuals in the locker room with the way that those guys competed. I don't think there was, obviously, did we make some errors and mistakes tonight? Yeah, we did. That were really costly. But I think there's no question about these guys and their futures just in life because of the character that and fight that they showed. So I'm proud of my group. You know, we made some memories, and definitely, you know, have a lot to obviously improve on going into next season.
Just raise your hand. We'll get you the mic. This is for Caden Alexander.
Sean Gervais, mid-major basketball. Cade, obviously the shot at the end of regulation to force overtime. What does it mean to you that the coaching staff believes in you to have the ball in your hands in a clutch situation like that?
It means everything. It means everything. I mean, the coaches just instill that confidence in me every single day. They tell me to shoot it. They tell all of us, me, Daywalk, everyone to shoot it. So I just had that confidence. I knew we down 3. Somebody had to make a play, and I didn't want the season to end. I wanted to give it everything I had. So I stepped up. I made a shot.
Dave Hanley of Talking Blurs. For Alex, you and Miles combined for 34 of Loyola's 59 points. You yourself had a perfect 7 for 7 from the field. What were you two seeing on the interior tonight that led you to be able to dominate in terms of points in the paint?
I think for us the kind of major key was managing to hit the pocket, especially on pick and rolls. So, and I mean, our point guards, Cade and Wilk, they did a great job finding us bigs. And then it was kind of up to us to read out of that. And I think, well, Miles and me both did a pretty decent job at kind of getting to the looks we wanted. And I think that kind of helped us, helped us get to those numbers.
Thank you. I do also have a question for Cade. You had a really strong end of the season. I know that obviously ending the season like this with a loss isn't what you want to do, but how do you take this momentum that you had at the end of the season and what do you look to build upon for next year?
I just want to build on it. I want to get in the gym. I want to work every single day, get with the coaches, get with whoever I need, work on my game, get my body back healthy to 100%, and just work on my game every single day.
Thank you.
Any more questions for student athletes? No? Thank you, guys. You can head back to the locker room. Questions for Coach Valentine? Again, just raise your hand. We'll get you the mic.
Coach, after yesterday and really the entirety of the season that was obviously had its rough stretches, what was the biggest growth piece that you saw from this team after yesterday battling back and now obviously the season and not ending how you wanted it to, but what was the biggest thing that you saw this team grow?
Just responses to adversity, also like preparation and execution. You know, obviously, I mean, some of the turnovers that we've had, you know, over the past couple games are really because we, you know, our two main ball handlers that we, wanted to be out there, and even Reese, you know what I mean, aren't out there. So, that kind of hurts you in some ways. But I just think they grew. Their responses to adversity were awesome. Like tonight, the physicality defensively. I mean, Holden Davidson to 40% from the floor. They made in the first game, they made, I think, 14 threes, and then the last one they made 12, so 26 within 2 games. We hold them to 6 of 24 from the three-point line tonight. We're mixing in zone defenses. Like, they were just executing better, throughout the year, and then just the responses within games, whether we would get down or we'd get up and then a team would go on a run. Our responses to adversity just got better, and we really just stuck together. And, sometimes when, adversity hits, it can fracture you, and everybody, you can listen to the outside noise and you can let other people decide how you feel versus what you're seeing on a day-to-day basis and what you're, seeing in your heart and knowing in your heart. And I think our guys just doubled down on this place. And again, I think that speaks to their character. I think that speaks to their commitment, and I think, I can say all I want as a coach, but it ultimately comes down to those guys in the locker room. And I think they did a really good job with that.
Coach Lukacevic with Rambler Sports Locker. Congrats on a really hard-fought season. This season, I think, can be characterized as a character-building season for a lot of the guys on the team. So what do you think the implications of that type of season are for the future of this team?
Can you,
Like the fact that this was a season that didn't tear the team apart but brought them closer together.
Gotcha.
How do you
I
think
didn't know where
that's
you're
going to
taking it.
impact the future of this program?
Yeah, I think these guys learned a lot of valuable lessons. Talk about that in the locker room. They've learned so many. I wasn't trying to be mean or okay. Sorry. I'm always. They'll tell you. I'm always good. Right? Would you guys agree? Okay. Okay. Good. Like in the locker room, I was saying, how you do anything is how you do everything. I think when, like in the summer, for example, we have new guys. Guys are feeling sore. Ankle might hurt. Guys will be like, I need to sit out today. And it hurt our team down the stretch because we had a lot of that, in the summer where it was that. And I think these guys understand now just the value of treating every day like a championship day. I've said it about our, team and program, but you want to treat every game like a Super Bowl. Like the way that we prepared today was sometimes you have more days, so you don't have to, make it as tight. But the way that we prepared for DePaul in our exhibition game was no different from what our preparation was for today's game. And so just totally just throwing yourself into it, being totally bought into it, and understanding what those results that can happen. And, I kind of spoke just on my last response just about how those guys fully started to buy in, and it meant a lot about their character, about how it didn't fracture. So I think those things kind of go hand in hand, and I'm excited about just the future in general.
Thank you. Dave Hanley with Talkin' Blurs. After a season like this, pretty disappointing, but what do you learn as a young coach and take into next year from a season like this? Because obviously lots of learning opportunities from.
Yeah. I think just overall roster construction wasn't good enough, regardless of if we were healthy or not. I do think if we were healthy, I have a hard time, with a 100% Kamani Winslow and a 100% Justin Moore and a 100% Chuck Love and a 100% Dom Harris and a 100% Caleb Reese and Alex Richardson not missing 4 games. I have a hard time not seeing this group being, at minimum upper half team. I know you could say, well, the beginning, but I think we would have figured it out like we have in the past. So, but even so with that, I can't definitively say that we were as good as St. Louis or VCU. And so just from a roster construction standpoint, what exactly that we need. And, we've done it before where we build. I think our character was awesome, 3.3 team GPA, a lot of really good things in the community. Like our guys represent the program the right way. Their character shows on the court with how they've, maintained a sense of belief in it and about how they've grown throughout the year. But I think our roster construction, needs to be better.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Long, Rambler Sports Locker. You spoke yesterday on how the team's mantra was to be overly optimistic. Do you think that contributed to the headspace today to really take the game to Davidson despite the 2 previous losses?
Yeah, I do. I definitely think so. And it's definitely something, that we've talked about, trying to find other guys that are like that, because that leads to really good responses to adversity. And so when you're playing basketball and the seasons, they're roller coasters, Obviously, we'll have a couple months off, but essentially once June gets here, we're going. And so finding guys that when we get here in June that are going to be bought in and are going to fight through adversity is definitely going to be a huge part of our recruiting process for this spring.
Any additional questions? That's the night, Coach. That's it.
All right,
Thank you
thanks,
very
guys.
much.